Bitter criticism. It was a long day. Yesterday was a long day reading in Portuguese. And well, today I'm going to do something that maybe is illegal. This is maybe illegal. I guess not. It's not illegal in Chile, but maybe it's illegal on internet. I'm not sure about it. I'm going to smoke a little Mary Jane. Look, this is a regular. I don't know how to say this. In Spanish, you say. In Spanish, this calls fósforos. Fósforos. A box of fósforos. I'm going to search for that. And then you made a hole. You make a hole in order to smoke the remaining, the remaining part of the whole joint. In order to you put the joint on the hole. And I'm going to smoke now. I just smoke once a month something. So yeah, pretty fly for a Latin guy. I guess it's not so fly, but I guess if you smoke once a week, there's no problem. I mean, it's just pot. It's just weed. Once I was here and some guy was smoking over there. The dogs didn't like him. Well, how to say phosphor in English? Hey, maybe those dogs don't like hippies. Maybe they want to smoke too. Phosphorus. So in English you say matches. Yeah, matches, but those are not cigarette matches. Those are matches, fire matches. Understand? So it's not the same thing. There's too much wind. So nothing is happening. I'm not sure what's going on. Yeah, I'm smoking something. Yeah, right there. But as you can see, there's not too much. Not too much for me. Not too much joint. I'm not sure if I'm going to upload this video. And I maybe all this smoke is maybe just because of the cold. Oh, it's too much wind. There's too much wind. Too much wind here. I quit. I guess I quit. I'm going to try a little, just a little more. Oh no, it's too much wind. There's too much wind. I've been not no smoking too nothing. So it's such a bad place for to smoke because of the wind. Oh, I guess I'm going to quit. Yeah. Well, nothing is happening, I guess, because it's kind of I'm not burning nothing. There's too much wind. Puta man. Fuck. Maybe I smoked something, but it's too, oh, not too much. Well, well, the truth is, this joint is very small. It's very small and very. I guess it's humid. I guess it's been humid, but I guess I smoked something, isn't it? Maybe. I guess I did it, but it could be a little more. Well, I will smoke something more next. By now I'm going to read cheat news. This cheat news from mainstream media. Look, there's a news from Popular Science. There's a news that says dogs can understand more complex words than we thought. Maybe it's not shit, but I don't know. Today, this Popular Science site was posting a lot of news like this, and I collected them, and I just gonna read some of them. Dogs can understand more complex words than we thought. Our furry friends might be understanding more than you think. Yeah, you know, this I say that this is bullshit, but I guess they are dogs. They understand words, you know. If you talk to them, they can understand a lot of words. There's dogs they are more well, dogs have their interests, and you don't even need to communicate with them through words. You just depending on their interest, like going for a walk or having food, you know, they understand your movements, you know, or we are going to walk. If you put your shoes, if you put some UV protection on your skin because of the sun, outdoors, that's it. They will understand everybody will go out. If you take your dogs regularly, understand? They understand your movements. Dogs can understand more complex words than we thought. Our furry friends might be understanding more than you think. By Margo Milanovsky. Posted on November 1st. Oh, but this is too old. Look, November 1st, 2021. A family pooch probably knows the words sit, stay, but new research suggests they might understand far more than these simple commands. Researchers already knew that a human infant at 8 months old can figure out that a group of syllables often struck together are words, whereas ungrouped sounds probably not. Now, in a study, she has this is an injury. Yeah, something happened here. Researchers already knew that a human infant, yeah. Now, a study done at Eötvös Loránd University in Hungary, scientists found that dogs do the same thing. Humans constantly speak to and around dogs, making these mammals most likely to make connections about the words people are saying. The researchers in this study also knew that this kind of complex computation of sounds exists in the animal world too, between creatures. So dogs also, they have words. Yeah. I guess because of the intonation, you know, dogs also make tonal sounds, a lot of them. And you know, Dogs also blink with you. I don't know if the word is blink, but they just a second. Blink, yeah. Dogs blink when with one eye. Dogs, if you know dogs, sometimes looking at them, they will look at you and they don't have vocal cords to communicate with you, but they definitely will blink like this. They definitely blink if you live with them, you know. This is a street dog. I'm not related to her. She's just living on the street, so we don't communicate much. She just want a little noodles, I forgot some some kindship. I don't remember the word. Some kind behavior, some attention. Anyway, but if you know very well a dog and you live with him, sometimes some dogs blink with you with one eye like that. And the noisy trucks again. The researchers in this study also knew that this kind of complex computation of sounds exists in the animal world too, between creatures. Quote, "This is the first time that we show that a non-human mammal can do this," says Mariana Boros, one of the lead authors of the study. Dogs can apply the exact same computations that infants are doing to segment the speech. The researchers also wanted to understand what parts of the dog's brains are making these calculations. To understand this, the researchers brought in canine pets to their lab to study their brain activity. These dogs sat for electroencephalography (EEG) and magnetic resonance imaging (MRI) testing, for both of which allowed the dogs to be awake and unrestrained for the study. Owners trained their dogs to sit still for at least 8 minutes for MRI testing, a feat of its own. You know, I guess this sit command to dogs is not fair, because it's just obedience, you know. What's the point on make a dog sit? What's the point on sitting, you know? Obedience. But yeah, what's the point on being obeyed? In the EEG tests, researchers apply electrodes to the dogs' heads, let them hang out with their owners, and then play recorded stimuli. First, they play song streams of speech made up of artificial words, varying the frequency in which these words were played, and sometimes playing just syllables of words. Then they play isolated recordings of each word and of syllables that did not make up one of the artificial words. The EEG activity showed the dogs were able to tell the difference between both the frequently and infrequently played words, but also could tell the difference between a full word and equally frequently played syllables of words, a much more complex distinction. So, and there's more. Related on pop science, do cats and dogs remember the past? But this is not just to No, this is not the. Anyway, researchers sought to find exactly where in the brain this was happening with MRI tests. While the dogs sat in MRI scanners, they played speech streams either built up from words that were repeated in a pattern or from randomized syllables of words. Two areas of the brain were associated with being able to tell the difference: a more generalist brain region and a specialized brain region. The general brain region, the basal ganglia, responded more strongly to the randomized syllables, whereas the auditory cortex, a much more specialized region, responded more strongly to the structured word speeches. Quote, in humans, in the auditory cortex, the language-related brain regions are the ones that are active in such tasks, said Boros. So it was interesting to see that also in dogs, the auditory cortex plays a very important role in the segmentation of words. You know, this dog over here, they have I guess this injury is new. Some dog attacks her. This is new, and you know, she has a daughter dog. Her daughter was attacked 2 weeks ago, and well, there's a aggressive dog around. It's not Tommy. Tommy likes females, you know. Tommy has no problem with females, but there's a problem here. This is, I guess, there will be no problem with this injury, but I'm not sure because it's so deep. The study showed for the first time that non-human mammals, specifically dogs, are capable of making these complex judgments. And additionally, these distinctions are being made in the same brain regions as humans. Many questions are left unanswered still, though, like how exactly these dogs came to have these capabilities and how their language development will continue into the future. No, definitely, dogs are super special. Dogs are super smart. If you spend time with them, well, there's a lot of things. Just like I said, they blink one eye for. It's just like humans. I guess humans in some countries like Brazil, they blink. People blink the one eye for you in order to hanging around, you know. So that's it. Just to hanging around, to be friends, you know, to be related. That's the whole question. The dogs blink one eye for we are playing the well, and there's another study. Look, a new study says hippos can fly. Briefly, hippos can fly. Be Afraid by Tim Newcomb. Well, this I guess is just a sensationalist article. A new study of the softball patterns and stride parameters of the common hippopotamus shows they get airborne even in briefly. What? The full suspension from the ground only happens when a trotting hippo reaches full speed. Yeah, I know. When the well, just like horses also can fly. Sometimes they are in the air, but as I know, hippos they like jump. You know, they don't separate their legs, and that's why I guess they fly. The full suspension from the ground only happens when a trotting hippo reaches full speed. The fresh data has researchers declaring the hippo as more athletic than elephants. Definitely. a new study out of the United Kingdom shows that hippos can fly. Well, only if you define flying as getting all four hooves or legs, but in this case it's hooves. Maybe this is the hippo's legs, hooves, off the ground for 0.3 seconds. In one of the first studies of the football patterns and strides of the common hippopotamus, researchers studied the athletic abilities of the semi-aquatic mammal and discovered, according to a study published in PERJ, that at the fastest relative speeds, hippos use brief aerial phases. We have lift off. Due to the danger of getting close to one of the largest mammals on Earth, a female hippo can easily reach 3,000 pounds and male can get much larger, even thousands of pounds heavier. There hasn't been much research into the way the herbivores move. Researchers at the Royal Veterinary College in the United Kingdom changed that, recording hippos at all stages of trot. The recordings show that when these massive beasts really get going, they get completely airborne as much as 15% of the time when moving at top speed. Yeah, well, this is not so interesting, I guess. Yeah, these people from Popular Mechanics, they need to publish something. They need to. Well, that was, I guess, was the science episode. Everything about science. Popular Mechanics just being a little sensationalist. And the last one, this Popular Mechanics are they are sponsoring these articles on Facebook. So Popular Mechanics, as you can see, Popular Mechanics, mathematicians are edging close to solving one of the world's 7 hardest math problems, and there's $1 million at stake, by Caroline Delberg, published July 9, 2024. Well, this, I guess, is the I don't remember when was the IPO news, the IPO article published, but this is not so old. It's like, oh, this was this very day, I guess. In new research, mathematicians have narrowed down one of the biggest outstanding problems in math. Huge breakthroughs in math and science are usually the work of many people over many years. 7 math problems were given $1 million bounty each in the year 2000, and just one has been solved so far. A new preprint math paper is lighting up the airwaves as mathematicians tune in for a possible breakthrough in a very old, very sticky problem in number theory. Raymond's hypothesis concerning the distribution of prime numbers throughout the number line dates back over 160 years. While the new paper doesn't purport to solve the problem, it could be a substantial step toward a solution that could enable other number theorists to keep taking steps towards solving it, and perhaps more importantly, winning a $1 million prize. The Millennium Problems are 7 infamously intractable math problems. Infamous, they are not famous, they are infamous, understand? They are hate They are hated. Intractable math problems laid out in the year 2000 by the prestigious Clay Institute, each with $1 million attached as payment for a solution. They span all areas of math, as the Clay Institute was founded in 1998 to push the entire field forward with financial support for researchers and important breakthroughs. But the only solved millennium problem so far, the Poincare conjecture, illustrates one of the funny pitfalls inherent to offering a large cash prize for math. I guess the businessman for these noisy trucks will never win this prize. The winner, Grigory Perelman, refused the Clay Prize as well as the prestigious Fields Medal. He withdrew from mathematics and public life in 2006, and even in 2010, he still insisted his contribution was the same as the mathematician whose work laid the foundation of which he built his proof, Richard Hamilton. Well, he is kind of pretentious. Math, all sciences, are arguably all human inquiries, are filled with pairs or groups that circle the same finding at the same time until one officially makes the breakthrough. Things about Sir Isaac Newton and Gottfried Leibniz, whose back and forth about calculus led to the combined version of the field we still study today. Rosalind Franklin is now mentioned in the same breath as her fellow discoverers of DNA. James Watson and Francis Crick, even the Bechdel test for women in media is sometimes called the Bechdel-Wallace test because humans are almost always in collaboration. That's what makes this new paper so important. Two mathematicians, Larry Good of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, and James Maynard of the University of Oxford, collaborated on the new finding about how certain polynomials are formed and how they reach out into the number line. Maynard is just 37 and won the Fields Medal himself in 2022. Good, a decade older, has won a number of important prizes with a little less name recognition. The Riemann hypothesis is not directly related to prime numbers, but it has implications that ripple through number theory in different ways, including with prime numbers. Basically, it deals with where and how the graph of a certain function of complex numbers crosses back and forth across axes. The points where the function crosses an axis is called a zero, and the frequency with which those zeros appear is called the zero destiny. Well, I don't understand much about maths, I'm trying now. In the far reaches of the number line, prime numbers become less and less predictable in the proverbial sense. They are not so far predictable in the literal sense, a fact that is an underpinning of modern encryption, where data is protected by enormous strings of integers made by multiplying prime numbers together. The idea is of a periodic table of primes of any kind of template that could help mathematicians better understand where and how large prime cluster together or not is a holy grail. In the new paper, Maynard and Gutt focus on a new limitation of Dirichlet polynomials. They are special series of complex numbers that many believe are of the same type as the function involved, in the Riemann hypothesis involves. In the paper, they claim they've proven that these polynomials have a certain number of large values or solutions within a tighter range tighter range than before. In other words, if we knew there might be an estimated 3 Dirichlet values between 50 and 100 before, now we may know that range to be between 60 and 90 instead. The eye exam just switches a blurry plate for a slightly less blurry one, but we still haven't found the perfect prescription. If one knows some more structure about the set of large values of Dirichlet polynomial, then one can hope to have improved bound. Miner and Gut conclude, no, this is not a final proof of the Riemann hypothesis, but no one is suggesting it is. In advanced math, narrowing things down is also vital. Indeed, even finding out that a promising idea turns out to be wrong can have a lot of value, as it has a number of times in the related twin primes conjecture that still eludes mathematicians. In a collaboration that has lasted 160 years, and continuing mathematicians continue to take each step together and then hopefully compare notes. She was Caroline Delber. Caroline Delber is a writer, avid reader, and contributing editor at Popular Mechanics. She's also an enthusiast of just about everything. Her favorite topics include nuclear energy, cosmology, math of everyday things, and the philosophy of it all. So, well, this article was not so bad, but I'm not so interesting about math, because I guess math in general, I guess, is alienated, Math itself, the whole science, of course, is useful. It's useful for even communism. It's useful, of course, for capitalism to produce things, but I guess the most important things in life, they are ethical, moral things, the human behavior, the human behavior, the human action, the human life. That's it. So no, understand, you cannot, I mean, let's think about bread, just bread, milk and bread. If you want milk and bread and honey, you'll have to have an economy, and why will you produce bread and milk and honey? Because there's a evaluation. People evaluate that. Maybe people in other countries like India, I'm not sure, Mexico, they eat other things, but I'm saying bread is nice. So this is politics, believe it or not. If you will produce bread or tacos, that's politics. That's the most important thing. So what is more important, maths or bread? That's it. What is more important, math or bread or milk? I will take milk and bread over maths, and that's it. Basically, you don't need maths to survive, but you definitely need bread. And who is going to produce the bread? Well, in the free world, there's liberalism, and well, you can choose the bakery you go. If you don't like somebody in the bakery, as I do, as happened to me, I will never go there anymore. I will just buy my bread any other place. Those are the important things in life. Well, I'm going to read this final. I'm going to make my yoga later, and then I'm going to do my yoga. AI. This is from. Oh, I don't know. Tom's Guide. Well, there's something called Tom's Guide. And yeah, Tom's Guide. But well, this maybe there's a Facebook page called Life Science. Do you saw Life Science? And then they published Tom Guide. Well, the Facebook page is called Life Science, and I take a lot of articles like this on my Facebook. They are sponsored. I had two choices. AIs talk to each other, and I may never sleep again. What? So AI talk to each other. Features by Ryan Morrison, published 2 days ago. This is interesting. Mochi and EVI had a screaming match. One of the fastest growing areas of the artificial intelligence sector at the moment is in voice AI, particularly those with an understanding of either natural speech or voice patterns. Companies like Hume have the emotional AI EVI. OpenAI has advanced voice, and now there is Mochi. I didn't know Mochi. And the first one, Mochi Chat, is from French startup QItai. Speaks with a French accent and promises to be small enough that it could run on your laptop or even smartphone in the future. It is also a GPT-4 type model that works speech to speech, so can be interrupted. When it first launched, it had a series of conversations with emoji of 5 minutes each, and after about 3 minutes it gets confused and loses cohesion. So I decided to see what will happen if I ask Mochi to speak to the emotional AI voice bot EVI from Hume. I may never sleep again after hearing Mochi respond to a few seconds of silence with the most heart-wrenching, stomach-turning scream I ever heard. At the end of the scream, and I response to is bad spelling. Look, is bad. Is not well written. And response to me, what was that? They both suggested a sound or a glitch. In reality, it's like neither EVI nor Mochi could hear each other. At the sound was Mochi responding to some static noise from my office. I'd never been able to replicate it. What went wrong with Mochi? In the past experiments, putting two AIs together have resulted in the creation of new languages, disturbing discussions, and other weirdness, often caused by the AI not being intelligent enough to handle absurdity. Yeah, I don't think they were even talking in my experiment between Mochi and EVI. You know what happened to me? Writing to ChatGPT, he's just a loser. You know, I asked something to him. I'm going to free Tommy now because it's too late. It's too late for yoga. It's the same. It's always the same problem. Tommy don't. Can you see? Tommy is not so smart to put the head down for free himself. He don't understand how it works. But Tommy understand words like "come here" and stuff. Tommy is the more obedient dog I have. The most obedient dog I have. Tommy. And can you see he's kind of happy? Well, dogs have their own personalities. Each dog has a different personality. Like this dog over there, the pit bull in general, they are simple-minded, very, very simple-minded. They are always positive, proactive, you know. I guess like Americans themselves, you know. I'm not Americans. They're always proactive, you know. They have this adventurous, maybe the English people too, you know, this navigation adventurous soul, let's say. Well, at least they have this whole history of navigation, conquering. They are a warrior people, definitely. And then, as you know, I guess people over there in the slum, they saw me smoking weed and they got nervous. And I guess they definitely will see videos like this now. So yeah, this is a kind of marketing. I'm doing like a marketing. Well, and I will see. I'm curious about. I'm curious to see what happened because people are very ignorant about drugs. You know, I didn't did nothing. You know, I couldn't smoke nothing because I really didn't smoke, and it made no effect because it was too little.